Glad you're back with us, everybody. Your final segment with Bradley Jackson, CEO of the Tennessee Chamber of Commerce and Industries, also a member of Governor Lee's Coronavirus Task Force and the Economic Recovery Group. Let's go to Monica. Monica, hello.
Hello. My question is, what obligation does an employer have to disclose that your coworker has contracted COVID?
Okay, good question. That's a big concern. You're working side by side with somebody. What responsibility does the employer have to disclose that a fellow employee has COVID?
Sure, and I knew that that question would come up, so I pulled out the TOSHA guidance. And actually, an employer does not have an obligation to disclose that their coworkers have it. However, if what we hear is primarily all them notify that a coworker at this time had it, and ask clusters of employees at that time to then go and be tested. Now, the question gets to be where, did that infection happen at the workplace or did it happen somewhere else when that coworker is out? But federal law and state law does not require an employer to disclose if individual employees have COVID. Now, they do have an obligation to, if there's a mass outbreak of it, to in keeping with a overall healthy workplace, to ensure that those individual employees do need to know that something has occurred at the workplace. That would be similar to any type of event. But I think TOSHA guidance may be changing in that space, to be honest. And
would you support that? I mean, you're a pretty powerful Tennessee Chamber of Commerce. Would you support that change?
We would review it and likely work to make sure that it was fair for employers, whatever reporting requirement. And the biggest thing for us is avoiding any sort of presumption that the COVID, unless beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was at the workplace, of establishing a standard where it's inferred that it would have been acquired there, because it's an airborne disease and illness. It's very difficult.
But I guess really quickly, so if someone is sick, and it's a 3-person small business, and they're sick, and we know that person was sick, and then 2 other employees are in this room with them, do they have they don't have an obligation to tell those other 2 employees, right? And that seems like a concern for workers.
Right. Some of it is privacy. There are certain rules where you cannot disclose, the health of other people to other individuals. Now, every employer I've talked to, though, in that situation, they would absolutely inform everyone, ask them to go get tested. If they have enough employees, try to quarantine and change schedules, things like that, to make sure that those employees know.
All right. Well, fascinating topic. Thank you very much for coming on. We have to take a break. We will come back, wrap everything up right after this.